Hi, my name is Danny. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm 23 years old, and this is my story. I thought it'd be best to tell it. It would, not just to help a lot of young people, but also just to help anyone at any age that you could have the disease and not to be shameful or feel guilt about it and get the help that you need. But I was born in Florida. I moved to Pittsburgh whenever I was 9 years old and I was into sports, everything like that. I played football, volleyball until about freshman year, and then I quit. And I started to smoke marijuana in the 10th grade. And I would use the excuse I was working at a grocery store, and I worked like 50 hours a week, even though I know that's not allowed, but I worked overtime, was making a good amount of money, but I started smoking weed and playing video games. But I was still working, so I would use that, and went through high school smoking, drinking every once in a while. I didn't really like it, and uh, I actually graduated COVID year, so a lot of my whole pretty much my whole like senior year was just at home on the Zoom meetings and stuff like that, and I graduated, and most people go on to bigger and better things, but that's whenever my downfall really started. I started working two jobs. I was working one as a dishwasher at a restaurant, and then I was working overnight at a 7-Eleven. But then whenever I'd get home, it was pretty much just drinking until I'd go to bed. But I always had something to use as an excuse. So I had two cars, or I had this, I had that. When you're an alcoholic or an addict, you make make excuses for anything and everything, and it's pretty easy when you're at an active addiction. And fast forward a little bit, it got pretty bad, and my mom got a job offer in Arizona, and um, set my older brother up with an apartment rent free for a whole year, and set me up for an apartment rent free for a whole year. Very blessed, but I, took advantage of it. I was still working, I'd say about 6 months into it, about maybe seven, and um, the last 8 to 12 months, like the last 4 months of my lease, I stopped going to work, so I lost my job, obviously, and I just sat at home and drank to oblivion, and I really stopped connecting or calling anyone. Um, I one of the last like my last day working, it was overnight, and I had a bottle in my car. So after work, I got off at 7, sat in my car in the parking lot, drank probably half the bottle, got onto the road, not even a mile down the road, crashed into the guardrail on the side. At least I mean, I didn't hit anyone because I went into the guardrail instead into the incoming lane, but totaled my car. So I pretty much used the last of my money. I would Uber to the liquor store and get whatever I need and come home and just binge for a week, 2 weeks straight, whatever I had. And coming towards the end of my lease, the my apartment was trashed, dirty. I started getting complaints from other tenants, and my mom had to start paying for cleaners, and it got to the point where I had like 2 weeks left. Still had no plan of where I was gonna go, what I was gonna do, where I was gonna live, and um, luckily my friends came over. High school friends came over and helped me clean out the apartment. Um, so I was able to clean it out before I had to ended up homeless, and cleaned everything out. I gave some to my friend, and he kept it at his house with his girlfriend. And I became homeless, I was living in a laundromat whenever I could, sleeping there until the cops would kick me out. My brother actually lived up the street from the laundromat, but would not let me stay with him because I just was not trusted. I would steal from my own family or friends, or I would just really take advantage of anyone that was close to me or around me. And looking back at it now, I probably would have done the same thing. And not, it's one of those things where you can't help someone that won't help themselves. You have to admit that you need help. And I was homeless for about 2 months.